Hey Preppers, this is part 2 of our Surviving in the Desert video. So like I promised you in the first video, I was going to actually show you how we put the solar still together. Um, you're not going to see me, obviously. I'm trying to give you a full view of the solar still. We're going to open this up. Now when you look at this is a pretty small box for what we're using, but this is just the items for the solar still. In the first video, we talked about other items that you need to carry with you out into the desert. This does not have that. I decided instead of getting a larger box for everything, that for traveling and stuff like that, that I would just keep it in the smaller box. But you can go with a smaller box and put absolutely everything in there. So let me open this up and I'll show you what we've got, and then we'll build the still. So we always talked about a light source. I always keep a light source in here. So if it's at night, you can still build your solar, still get it set, especially because you're going to be traveling at night in the desert when it's cooler. Obviously, when you get to your location, you'll want to build this either as the sun's coming up, before the sun's coming up, and then you're going to find some place in the shadows to sleep because you were up walking all night, and then this will be set and good to go. This is your plastic sheeting. I have 2 here. Now, for sake of keeping this small, I did not put together 2 complete sets, which is always a good idea to put 2 complete sets, because the more sets you have, the more stills you have, the more water you're going to produce. There are 2 sheets here. We're going to use one of the sheets just to lay this stuff out. All right, let me move this up a little bit so you can actually see what I'm doing. There you go. I'm going to actually get on the other side so it's not in the shade. It just makes it a whole lot easier. So you've got obviously your plastic sheet, shovel. Like I always say, always have sunscreen. Redundancy, have sunscreen here, so have sunscreen in your bug out bag. Have sunscreen and bug spray in your everyday carry and in your car kit. You want to have this with you. It's always good to have a couple handkerchiefs, bandanas, keep it out of the sun. These are a little bit darker than I normally would have with, but it's what I grabbed. Remember, out in the desert, you want light clothing and stuff like that. All right, we'll put that off to the side. This is just a simple little sandwich baggie, because what I'm going to do once this is set up, I'm going to put the sandwich bag and zip it over the tip of this. You don't want this getting full of sand or whatever, little creatures climbing into it when your solar still is sitting there and you're off in the shade taking it easy. Here is your Sierra cup. Here is your plastic sheeting. And what I've done here is, if you notice, I've used rope on here, because the biggest problem in the heat, if you would use like any kind of a tape, it would leave a sticky residue. I don't like that. I have the rope here, and which is nice. I showed you that I kept a little bit of piece of string. It's always nice to have string, so for extra. But there's your hose and your Sierra cup that you're gonna use. And then, because you're in the desert and you don't know where you're gonna be, bring along your own rocks. All right, so let's put this thing together, and I'll kind of explain what we're doing along the way. And I don't know if you can see them, but here out in the sand here, there's like little tiny ants, very small little ants. Another reason to make sure that the end of your hose is nice and clean. So let's get this done, and we'll kind of explain what we're doing as we're doing it. So this is right about where I want to do it. Move that stuff off to the side. So you're just going to dig down. And what's nice, I don't know if you can see this in the video. I'll bring it up closer. But as I'm digging down, it's moist. Okay, it's already moist. It's protected from the sun. So this, with your solar still, is actually going to bring the moisture up out of the soil, which is really nice. So you dig down to as far as you want to go, and then you're going to come in at slight angles. All right, make it a little bit larger. And of course, I threw other stuff where I wanted. And as we go along, some of the things you're going to have to remember that you want to do, you want to have this angle enough that as it dries out, the sand isn't going to roll down into your cup. All right, so we'll get these angled nicely up. And keep this out like this, because as you're building your solar still to get water, if you're stuck out in the desert, you're going to have that nice angle. Pat it down a little bit. You want this as flat as possible, because let's face it, it's going to get a little jiggled around. All right, so another good thing I didn't think about is I can clean off my hands like so. In the first video, we talked about what you can put in here. There's a lot of things that you can put in here. Anything, any type of vegetation that you can find, damp sand, even urine you can put in here, because what's going to happen is it's going to evaporate and come up. All right, so we've got basically the hole made. It really doesn't take that long to make your hole for your solar still. Get your plastic bag in there. So all you're going to do, get your cup down in there. Keep it from getting sand in there. Hold it down. Bring your straw out and around, and then use, you can use your shovel or whatever to hold that down. Remember to protect the end of your straw. Now, you're just using regular plastic sheeting. It's really easy to carry. It's just basically going to go over the top of your hole, and that's where this is where the rocks come in. All right, the rocks are going to hold the corners of your sheeting, and you can adjust this as you go. But see, it's really easy. It's gonna. Now the key is you want a very small rock. You want a small rock in the middle. What that's going to do is make the sheeting come down to a point, whereas everything around here, anything that you put in there, vegetation, liquid that you wouldn't want to drink but you can draw the moisture out of, or the sand itself, you want a low point, so as the condensation forms on the plastic, it's going to be able to, through gravity, go down the plastic and will be right over the cup. And then obviously the cup is there. You've got your straw right here. You can put another rock where your straw is so it doesn't move. And now with the straw in the cup, condensation going down to the center, you can actually drink that water. All right, and over time that'll work out real nice. You'll be able to get a little bit of water, enough to keep you going, so that you aren't totally parched. It's going to help you get where you need to go. This is why I also suggest several of these. Make 2, make 3, and then you've got it, and you're pretty much set. So that's it. That's the solar still that I told you that I would show you, that you saw in the first video. So there you go. All right, preppers, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed both these videos, and they'll help you put your kit together if you're traveling through the desert. And yeah, and like we say when we always end our videos, please always be aware of your surroundings, whether you're in the desert, whether you're at the ocean, whether you're in a tropical rainforest, home, vacation, work, or whatever. And please always have enough food, water, medicine, and ammunition, whether you shelter in place or bug out. And like we always say also, is always prep, because prepping will save your life. So that's it. We appreciate it. Take care. See you next time.